Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Snack Time with Dr. Sam. This is where I spend a couple of minutes each day just talking about the world's most difficult job, parenting. Today we're going to talk about toilet training and specifically how to know when you and your child are prepared for toilet training. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is that you've got to be prepared for the challenge that comes along with it. It's a really difficult thing to work on, and so your life, as much as possible in a pandemic, has to be relatively consistent. You got to be ready for the constant potty interruptions that are going to come up. You don't want to start this, when you guys are about to go on vacation or something. You want to have it consistent for a couple of weeks as much as is possible in the crazy times that we live in. It's going to be challenging. Kids, when it comes to feeding or playing and even sleeping, there are naturally reinforcing properties to those activities. It's not the same for toilet training. And so we have to create a system that makes it more motivating for kids to be willing to use the toilet. And that makes it difficult. They may not cooperate with toilet training like they do with other things. But kids will recognize your frustration and your impatience and exhibit the same kinds of things. So you got to make sure to try to keep that in check with the awareness that this is a difficult process that will take some time. Wait. Most kids are toilet trained around between 2 to 4 years of age, but generally we say don't start until about 2 years old. You're going to get a lot of pressure from other parents, from relatives, from your local parenting expert to go ahead and get them potty trained, but you just got to make sure that you and your child are ready. And so just because your child says, I'm ready for big girl or big boy pants, or even if they've been dry had dry days on the potty chair for several days, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready. I mean, a lot of kids can do those things around 18 months of age. Kids have to be able to handle the physical demands, right? They have to be able to pick up objects, pick up and put down their pants. And a lot of the motor skills that are required before you guys can shift into potty training, including being able to walk from room to room pretty consistently. Their bladders need to be ready, so your kids should be able to stay dry for several hours at a time, and go use number one probably 4 to 6 times a day. And that's when, if they're wetting 7 to 10 times a day, even if it's just a little bit, they're probably not ready, so you can just wait. What are the supplies that you might need? The first one obviously is a potty chair. If you don't want to buy a potty chair, you grab a stool or something like that, just something that they can set their feet on when they're using the bathroom. Particularly for number 2, they're going to need to have their feet elevated and supported in order to do that. Get 5 to 7 pairs of loose-fitting pants, things that can go up and down relatively quickly at a moment's notice. Make sure you have a variety of different fluids. So one of the interesting things about preparing for potty training is have something that's desirable for kids to drink, because the more fluids they have, the more opportunities for practice that you are creating. Another thing is identify some of their favorite treats, the things that get them going and get them motivated, and have those things on hand relatively quickly. One of the hardest things to have with anything that's related to parenting is patience. And I think with toilet training particularly, you have to expect that long after they're even toilet trained, you're still going to have accidents. And that's okay. Kids have bedwetting occurs all the way up to 7 years of age, and that's considered developmentally appropriate. So what's most important is that you prepare for accidents and know that's going to happen, and not get discouraged when that happens, because it's a part of the process. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for Snack Time with Dr. Sam. I'm looking forward to continue to create more content, and please provide feedback. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Dr. Sam Solutions, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So glad having you guys. Bye-bye.